brain sluice, slick with ectoplasmic juice. Ecstatic energy, a fire that fuels our memory. With genealogy, with spiritual topography. Questions for your answers, we are data necromancers.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Whitney, you got through to the other side.
I'm on the other side.
Dude, the amount of time spent preparing for the event.
Almost a year.
And thinking about the event and, you know, preparing. You're on the other side of it now. And who's here with us?
There's a squirming, probably potentially very hot honky baby. I love how much newborns honk.
She's so beautiful. And I'm so excited at how much she looks like a Hazelmeyer.
You think so?
Dude.
She doesn't look like...
Your first kid is a Magali, but your
first
second kid
is Pamela Magali.
But this kid is a Hazelmeyer.
You can hear the baby? I like that.
She's gonna bring down the papacy.
Holy crap, y'all. You know what's gross about a C-section? The first one was emergent, so you don't even, like, you're just somewhere else. And I was in labor for 9 hours, so I was definitely somewhere else. But this one, when you're conscious, you can smell everything.
That's
like
wild.
All the blood and the cauterized flesh.
Oh, no, much.
I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. And then and it was taking forever, and I was kind of starting to freak out a little bit.
The actual incision?
And she's like, oh, there's just a lot of scar tissue in here.
No
I was like,
shit,
okay,
lady.
what does that mean? You can't get it out? Get it out! And then when they pulled her out, it's like a NASCAR pit stop. It's like, and then like, yeah, it sounds like there's drills and the table's shaking. And they pulled her up, and they kind of like, you have this much room. Like, the sheet is right here, so it's really claustrophobic. And you're strapped like Jesus Christ.
So you smell what's going on.
You smell what's going on.
You feel what's going on.
You feel what's going on.
But you cannot see what's going on.
You cannot see what's going on, and you're trapped. Like, you get, like, nothing.
They, like, bolt you to the bed and shit. Like, wrap your arms up.
It's just violent, no matter what way you cut it. I guess unless you do, like, a home birth. But even then, I guess
birth is just violent.
It's just violent. They, like, plopped her over. They, like, showed her over the curtain. And there was, like, amniotic fluid, and I can't wipe my face. And I'm like, this is fucking gross, man. Like,
that's your shit, though.
It's my shit, but I'm stuck. I can't wipe. I'm like, trapped.
You're like, ugh.
I'm like, great. Okay.
My baby's covered in moon cheese.
It kind of sucked, too, because I didn't do my research. This hospital had experienced a 70,000 person strike across their company this summer, and so it was so severely understaffed. And it's also a teaching hospital, so there's like people like chatting with the baby, you know, while they're holding the baby. I'm like, can I fucking get my kid? Like,
this is a precious holy moment.
I checked no to not have anybody else in here, but you guys clearly didn't like look at that.
Ugh.
And because I just don't want to deal with that. Like, oh, look at this is her uterus, and you know, unless I'm getting a discount, which I'm not.
You should absolutely get a discount if you're subjected to that type of sort of scientific discovery.
Specimen. Every, get this. So they put Lydia on your chest, but you can't do anything. So she's like falling onto my face. And I just so desperately want to eat something.
You're famished.
It was Spite's wedding the night before, and we had a blast. But the last time I ate anything was 7 p.m. the previous day, so I'm like starving. They had to delay the operation an hour and a half because of the staffing issues.
Somebody was late to work.
So what is this, fucking RoboCop? Like, god damn it. They wheel me back, and they start throwing you a bunch of pill pain meds. And in my mind, I took pharmacology in college. You don't take this shit on an empty stomach. which I thought was really weird. I thought they would give me something through my IV.
Yeah.
So I immediately threw all of it up.
Oh, with severed abdominal muscles.
Right. So after the spinal block is wearing off, I have 0 meds in my system. It was like World War II.
Jesus.
And then they brought me breakfast. I threw up fucking everything. I was like, are you guys retarded?
Is this your first time working with the human body? She didn't mean R. She meant stupid.
I was very angry. And then, we got to call in an order for something stronger.
Who has authorization for that?
Really?
There's no doctors there. It's just nurses.
And then every nurse was 15 years old. So it's like, hey, I've got this boob question. Yeah, I don't know. Ha ha ha. And then they would just back into the darkness. I was like, fuck this hospital. Fuck these people. No pain meds after I got Tylenol and ibuprofen. So I was in a horrendous amount of pain for like 6 days.
Yeah.
And then the day we bring Ruby home, she's got 102-degree fever and she has pneumonia. So separating them, and then on top of that, she won't let her grandparents do anything. It had to be me, which I was immobile, or it had to be Lucas. And Lucas was the first time I saw him on the brink of a mental breakdown because she was so needy and I had needs. I was like, can I? And he was like, so the first 2 nights I just sobbed into oblivion. It was really weird. Weird stuff comes up, obviously, because like that crazy psychological, physiological drop in all your hormones and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm an orphan. Why did my dad have to die? Why does my mom suck so bad?
Yeah.
You know, you're reaching for roots you don't have.
Some kind of support.
Just somebody.
Anything.
Is it hot in here?
We're talking about all the changes that your arrival brought on, Lydia Bidia.
Baby break.
She's a baby, but not for long.
Come on, man.
Oh, sorry. let her be a potato for a bit longer. But she's already got such expressive eyes and eyebrows, and we got a couple of moaner groaners. Come here, bud.
Moaner groaners.
You want to be my baby? Jump.
Jump. When we say jump, jump.
When I say jump, you say how high. Come on.
But so far, she's the opposite of Ruby.
I anticipated this.
Did you really?
Yes. I really did. It just seems to work out that way. Do you need help rearranging anything?
I don't care anymore. No, I got it.
Come here, bud.
What was I just about to say? She sleeps all the time. I got up 3 times last night to feed her. I'm like, do you need anything? Oh, nothing? You're just gonna sleep? Okay. Well, I'll just think about World War III then.
No.
It's fine.
We've talked about this before. Respectfully, humankind is always on the brink of apocalypse.
Especially with how violent birth is, it just makes sense. We're not peaceful.
No, the fact that we inhabit flesh suits is the reason why our myths are so violent.
That's why we're afraid of death.
And upheaval is so jarring, and it's constant. You know?
Yeah.
So how is everything now? We're 2 weeks out from birth. Little over 2 weeks.
15 days. Things are good. Ruby seems so much older when you bring home a fresh one and then you look at the other one. She looks like she's 50.
And she's like, I want to wear this one and I want to wear socks with it, but I have a wedgie. And it's like, you are already so fast forwarded into life.
I know. I'm excited 3 months from now when things are really in a rhythm where the postpartum anxiety and depression and the existential stuff has been bad, but it's always bad with me. That's always been a serious issue. But the depression and the anxiety, I'm like stacked with vitamins and supplements because I read that that's a big reason why you have postpartum anxiety and depression. Is
You're just depleted.
You're depleted, and then you eat whole foods that don't have any nutrients, so you're like super depleted.
Okay.
And our water is
No irradiated mangoes for this one. We're getting all those vitamins.
Yeah. But
Well, you're amazing.
I rode a motorcycle yesterday.
How was
I had
that?
a support vehicle. Lucas was like, I don't want you to go by yourself. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's smart. And it was fun, but like the intrusive thoughts, like crashing into a fucking median and slicing your head, and then what's the baby gonna do the first night without her mom? Like, just, that was really bad, but it was fun to get over it.
Fuck, dude. That's insane.
You know me, I love to just
Well,
face.
I mean, now your existence, so like two other things existences are based on your existence now. So you've created this pyramid scheme where you have to stay alive to support the other ones.
Yeah.
But I think you'll manage. I think you've done good staying alive so far.
Yes.
And you're a smart being. You know what risky behavior is, and you know how to avoid it. And that's all we can do is mitigate risk. We can't completely eradicate it. Come here.
You fart. Somebody ate a stash of dirty diapers, and it wasn't Murphy. It was 100% Murphy. He thought he fucking struck gold. He was like Indiana Jones.
I'm sure he smelled it and was like, oh, there's so many nutrients in here.
Milk proteins.
So I am grateful that you shared your birth story. I'm glad that the baby is healthy.
You know what made me super tender is like Lucas put dino jammies on her and like the feeder dino feed and whatever, and they got... And I was like, she looks like an old man whose memory was just wiped.
Oh, shit.
What if she doesn't want to be a dinosaur? What if she wants to wear microchips, motherboards, and red silk and be adorned with gold coins? And
do that to her? Well, that's the thing about being a little memory wiped baby. You don't get to choose anything for
unicorn
like 18 years. Like, what do they get to choose?
What if they want to be taken seriously?
But there's like a delineation in our society when we're not taken seriously if you're under 18.
You're demoralized. And
yeah, like, oh, you don't know better. You don't know. And it's all backwards and fucked up because there's so many people over 18 who have no fucking idea what's going on.
They're still stuck in their dino jammies.
Should have no decision-making power over anybody, but they do just because they're older.
Honk.
That was a truth honk. I'm really excited for Lydia's existence.
Can we make her stilts with microchips and motherboards and...
Yeah. You keep on referencing RoboCop and stuff.
I feel like the Chinese do that with their babies. Like, I've seen...
What's that mean?
I mean, I think they're probably royal children.
Red silk and microchips?
Yeah.
What
like
is
gold coins and stuff.
Yeah.
There's no, like, fucking,
We need gold microchips.
unicorn jammies. There's no, like, oh, you're a piece of sushi. Oh, you're so cute. I just want to bring some seriousness to the table.
So you're saying she's a royal baby?
No, I'm just saying all babies are royal. Last night I was staring at her. Lucas is like, what are you thinking about? And I was like, we all start this way. And then you're just grist for the mill.
It's wild how every single person is as beautiful and unique and special as every other one. But so many people are just thrown away like dirty tissues.
Yeah, I can't get over that.
I don't want to bring it to a sad...
Skirt!
But,
Are you pulling the e-brake?
Opening up Instagram and scrolling for 10 minutes at the top of the hour like I do, I saw that they evacuated 30 prematurely born babies from the Al what is it, Al-Saifa Hospital in Palestine, and just like seeing all these people dedicating their life and times to saving these kids.
Can you imagine giving birth in Palestine right now?
Can you imagine giving birth and leaving your baby in a hospital in a war zone?
No.
Just seeing that, I just started crying. I put my phone down and I just started like praying. I was just praying like gratitude, thank you, but also please save these babies.
How crazy is it to have a direct pipeline to that stuff?
It's insane. It scrambles your brain.
It's got to do something, because people hear politicians like, mouthpieces for power say stuff that isn't true, and everybody goes, fuck you.
Fuck you. We can see what's happening.
Yeah. And they still think that they could do that because for the last 200 years they could, and now they can't.
I'm sure there are like maybe 10% of people who listen to them blindly and don't see anything outside of the truth. But yeah, just seeing that, knowing that Lydia just came in, and like seeing the parallel between those newborns and this newborn, like,
that's what I kept saying, like how horrible the hospital was. There was like no pain meds, throwing up my stuff. Every nurse didn't give two shits about me. Nobody was helpful at all. I was like, well, at least it's not fucking Gaza. It's like all I kept thinking. I'm like, oh, whatever. This isn't great, but I'm fine. If something happens, there's somebody somewhere in this building who will do something about it.
Your husband.
It was so important that you found that older lady while we were walking.
Did I find her?
Yeah, because we were walking without a baby in the thing, and she looks at us. She goes, "Where's your baby?" I don't know.
Oh, the baby. Good question.
But she was what you want in the labor through a crazy
Someone
event.
Who's
like
been through that.
Birth. Yeah, like.
Oh boy, brother call. I'm gonna ignore
Dude,
it.
he fucking knows. He knows when you're potting.
He'll call it back later. Yeah, finding an older lady who has experience with birth and the milk coming down.
Who cares? Just somebody who cares. It's just like so tight. Especially in my life when nobody cares. Elder wise.
Right. Yes.
You're like, Mom, anybody? Can you hear me
out there? Well, that position of caring, it sort of has to be supported by experience. And I mean, whatever due respect there is, there's not that experience there, right?
No, and they had college students shadowing, and they were terrified. I'm like, yeah, you're what, 18, 19?
The human body is a scary place, and that's what you've decided is your career.
It was tight my second time around. I was like, everything was hanging out. I was like, I don't care. Whatever.
Fuck you. This is all fucking normal as shit.
Don't give a shit.
We all wear
clothes.
clothes.
First time I was like always trying to cover up. I'm like, why? Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Everything looks the same.
Yeah, that gave me a weird flashback to when I went to go visit my dad in the hospital once, and he was all loopy on something, and he was like sleeping, and then all of a sudden he like kind of woke up, and he started to like cry and like scream and try to pull all the stuff off of him, and he was wearing a hospital gown, and he like threw his legs out of the bed, and I like saw my dad naked, and I was like, this is really scary. Like, not only is he dying, but I just saw my dad naked, and this is like how jarring it is when you think you're a child and they're an adult, but then all of a sudden, they're an adult and he's a child. Yeah. Like, this is weird. This is really weird.
I remember a coworker in Baltimore at a restaurant being like, have you ever been to the Swedish spa? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? He's like, you have no idea what I'm about to tell you. I'm like, dude, go on. There was some crazy spa out near Baltimore where it was multi-leveled, all immigrants. Like, this was clearly not an American thing because we don't like our body at all. It's scary.
There's shame.
And he's like, everybody's butt naked, but it's different rooms and levels of like water. Like relaxing spa. Here's a shallow neck pool. Here's a waterfall on your gullet. And he's like, families are there together, naked.
That's crazy.
He's like, he was high as fuck on a million edibles. I fucking miss working with him so much. He's one of my favorite people. And he was like having this moment that we were so full of shame and guilt. And he had a hard time being naked there, but he was seeing all these Ukrainian guys with their kids and they're having fun at Waterworld.
And it's like, not sexualized.
It's not sexual. It is a place of relaxation and rejuvenation. And everybody is just doing their thing. And I was like, wow.
It's hard to separate nudity from sexuality.
Well, I think that's why there's so much rape and our whole thing is super fucked.
Thanks, Puritans. Do you think it's based on the puritanical shame of...
It's gotta be.
Your original sin? Yeah, I'm definitely much more comfortable with my body than I've ever been. And I feel like that's just the wisdom of growing up.
Yeah, or it's like, with my kids, I'm not hiding behind anything.
Right.
I never saw my parents naked, ever.
I have seen my parents naked. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
But she's always been, she's never really been ashamed of her body. She's always just been like a very bombastic presence to reckon with. And like, she would argue with me and my brother or whatever, and then we'd be like, why and she'd be like, because I am the mother, and grab her tit at us and be like, this sucks, what is going on? Like, this is a weird declaration to make to your kids, man.
I like the sentiment.
Like, okay, but we're your kids.
It's like the modern version of striking a Viking sword on your tit.
I know, and I can't wait to tell her about that, because she claims Viking bitch is her destiny. Like, we looked at her lineage and stuff, my lineage, our lineage, and she is descended from the Danes. So she is a Viking bitch.
Whoa. Hence the Harley Davidson bloodline.
Yeah.
Because I feel like those go hand in hand.
No, she's super tough stuff, but she's also sensitive and sweet in her own little hidden way. She's coming tonight.
9 p.m., right?
Yeah, I'm going to go pick her up. Not crash my car.
Don't crash your car.
I'm excited. Making some beans.
She's got her beans ready. She's whipping the beans out.
We're gonna do beans. It's been a while since I did any beans.
Mama Rubbish says toaster.
Hey.
Mama.
The last time she came and spent some time in my spot, we did a small cooking video. So I don't know if we'll do another one, but we'll see. Our dynamic is pretty funny.
Is something squishied?
What happened, baby? What happened, baby? So, Whitney, I know that I've noticed this about you.
Yes, babe.
I've noticed that you'd never really indulge in fantasy.
In what sense? In escapism?
Well, I feel like fantasy is definitely... It can be escapism, but it's also sort of just like a loosey-goosey environment for your ideas to develop. Like, if you kind of take regulations out of it and then you're just like fantasizing about what is possible, you can sort of glean something realistic that can come to pass.
I have been taking a break, obviously, from making videos and stuff. I made one yesterday and it was very like, fuck it. But it was also obligatory from this fucking GPS company, so I was like, whatever. Here's nothing that makes sense. Here you go. Which felt very much like me in a way.
Yeah.
But I've been also reading that book about creativity, And I realize how I've conceptualized or fantasize doesn't feel right because it feels romantic and like I'm getting lost in it, which is not how I visualize stuff. Maybe more of a visionary experience or whatever. Like I watch
Vision Quest.
Yeah, like Hiro Murai. He directs Atlanta.
The show?
Yeah. And I love his shots, and I love the way he shoots stuff, and I love his colors, and I like the way Donald Glover writes stuff, and it's really fucking meta, but it's also funny and totally like wacky. And I was like, I don't know how to get here. This is hard. Like this gets my dick hard, and I like it's inspiring. And then reading that book, it's like I'm in a weird spot.
Interesting.
And I like it.
In regards to fantasy or like exploring different possibilities?
I feel like as an artist right now, I've done everything backwards, which is good and very me-like. But it's also hard to explain. It's like I want to make stuff that gets me hard. Versus just making stuff to make stuff.
Yeah.
Which is where I've been and where I came from. It's like I learned the craft and now I need to learn the art.
That's cool.
Versus the other way around, where it's like you've got all this passion, but you don't know how to craft it. It's like I'm doing everything backwards.
You're like locating your passion? Or like identifying your passion?
Yeah, or trying to understand how
You're
to...
fleshing it out.
Yeah. Like the creativity books talks about how important it is to not sit with something too long. Don't look at it too much. First pass is the best pass. I'm really good at all that. But when it comes to what I want, my perspective, it's like, how do I harness that? You know?
Yeah. It's like it started as all business,
All
and
business.
no pleasure.
Yeah.
And you now need to balance that business and pleasure aspect.
And it's like the MAWPOD got a copyright strike, YouTube channel. Our fucking views tanked so hard because the second you get a copyright strike, it happened with my channel, you get removed from the homepage. And I was like, oh, fuck it. Actually, you know what? The less people who watch right now, the fucking better, because I am going through it and I feel passionate about solving it because I made, I think with the last MAWPOD, I was like, we are artists. We are not, this is not our job.
We're not content creators.
No.
That's something, I respect people who identify as that. That's not how I identify.
No.
I don't work for you.
But it sucks because it's
Respectfully.
like, I love the video medium and so do you.
I do too, but I
So
can't
you get
force it.
So you get stuck in like, I wonder how much people are tired of us listening to our sniff our own farts, but we go from,
That's what we do.
that's what we do. We huff our own farts.
Would you like to have our farts with us?
So that I've just been trying to navigate that. And it's like working for a big content creator. It's like you get passed off these documents and you read like the steps to do it. You know, like this is what I look for when we produce content like this. And you're just like,
Does it turn you off?
yes.
Yeah.
Because what's really cool now is things are so formulaic. And you're like, oh, that's disgusting.
Oh, you just drop this in here and that in there, and then
It's
done.
paint. It's paint by numbers.
Right. But that's what makes it easy to post consistently.
Yes.
And that is not really something that I strive for at all. I just want to make cool shit and have fun.
I want to make cool shit all the time.
Yeah.
Is my problem.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. It's been so fucking nice postpartum having stuff to edit. I wasn't editing anything first time around.
Yeah.
But to have a craft or something to just kind of like Lucas went to a show the other night and left me home alone. And I was like, okay, don't spiral into oblivion. Don't spiral into oblivion. Don't spiral into oblivion. I edited a MAWPOD.
Yeah. The Jonathan Davis.
Yes. And then
Fred
he came
Durst
home.
one.
Like, God, it's so nice just to have something You know, it's our little wood carving or
I
whatever.
love it. Ikigai.
Yeah. Is that poop polishing?
No, that's Dorodango.
No, real quick.
No, girl. Ikigai is your passion. It's what you wake up every morning and look forward to doing.
You need that.
Ikigai is where your career meets your life force. It's like when I watched that Okinawa episode of the Blue Zones, you know, with the purple sweet potatoes. There she is.
I thought I could hide her, but it's getting hot.
Let her breathe.
Let her breathe.
Look at her little head.
It's a scrunch. It's a human larva scrunch.
I love her so much.
She's wearing pumpkins, ladies and gentlemen.
It's seasonal. It's a bit seasonal.
Hope you like pumpkins, bitch.
Rock me, Amadeus. So one of the principles that they offered in the Okinawa episode of the Blue Zones about, you know, how people can manage to live for extended lifespans, part of that is Ikigai. And it's the guy who wakes up every day and makes swords. Or, you know, the woman who...
What do you do if you don't have that? You lose your mind, right?
You die early.
You die early.
If you don't have family and friends to chat and laugh and share food with, if you don't have some kind of pastime that fills your creative need and, you know, helps you grow, you just die early. You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's throughout our species development, it's usually been tied up with our livelihood. Like maybe your ikigai was, for my family, some sort of blacksmith,
And we lost it all.
metalsmith, some kind of smithing.
Some sort of sithing.
So you have to do that in order to make money and feed your family, but it's also your craft, and it's also, I don't know. I dig it. I always go back to rubbish cook as my ikigai because it takes a lot of different forms, but I feel like that that sort of identity that I've carved out is my foundation. Like however it is expressed whenever, you know.
Especially, I feel like it comes out a lot in the studio. In the public access studio.
Oh, cool. What do you mean?
Because, like, your costumes or your sets or the story, that's where stuff really...
We're going to do a Christmas episode.
Go on.
And I decided that I want to be a duck or a goose, you know, like a Christmas goose. And I want to make, like, a bill and, like, talk like a goose. And I'm, like, preparing this roast cricket or something for my family. And I haven't written this skit yet.
You've just seen
but I have
you
this
as a
vision
goose.
of me as a goose. And it, like, leads up to the inevitable, like, me getting plucked to be someone else's Christmas goose.
Somebody knocks on your fucking door.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then maybe there's a flashback to where the cricket was preparing his family's Christmas dinner and gets plucked for my Christmas dinner.
An infinite nesting doll.
It's like this fractal of removal, you know?
Baby cricket children crying.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to do a Christmas episode. It's
I
gonna be a
remember
blast.
my dad, I picked up like a frog once and whatever, kept walking. And then like 10 minutes later, he's like, you know that frog was almost home, right?
God.
It's like, why do you take the fun out of everything?
He seriously did. You're like on your way to school as a young, happy child, and he's like, hey, Whitney, don't trust anyone. You can't trust anyone. And you're like,
He used to say that shit to me before I went to church. He goes, remember, God isn't real. I was like, well,
but
yeah, I don't know.
The feelings that I get about God are real. You know? And I think those are more important than whether you can prove the existence of the divine. Whatever feelings it conjures within you, those are real.
Did we talk about the relics? I know we talked about wanting to talk about relics, and then I watched a show that came out the next day about relics. Did you watch that show yet? Maybe we should wait until you watch that show.
Nor I've not watched it yet, but I've got some experience with relics. And we have talked about it off pod.
There was a firefighter when the Notre Dame.
So the university in Indiana or whatever is called Notre Dame.
Right, but
the
it's called
church in French is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame was burning. Christ's alleged crown of thorns was in there, but it was kept so secret that the firefighters were waiting to be told, like, okay, where is it? We can go save it, but we need to go right now. And all the hierarchy of all the dudes were like, I don't know. They haven't told us. There was like one guy that knew, and he was MIA. So the firefighter went in, and he thought that he found it, and he brought it out. And they were like, no, that's the decoy that we have. The real one is in a safe.
A fire safe.
And the guy who knew where it was showed up, and they got it.
He was like on a smoke break.
Do they know why it burned or what happened? Do you know why?
I don't remember how it burned.
How did it burn?
How did it burn?
Dude, that must have been the most metal thing to see ever.
The church burning?
Yes.
I wonder if there's any cool pictures of it.
Oh, there is.
I remember when I went there in 2008.
Did the whole thing burn down?
I think they were able to stop it at some point. I don't know. But we didn't go in when we visited it in 2008. All right, bring us up to speed.
An inquiry into the blaze has found that 6 electronic bells, which were apparently intended to be temporary, had been installed in the spire with cables running from them in the roof space. These may have short-circuited in starting the blaze. Yeah, or somebody else came in and was like, Foop.
That electrician who installed those electronic bells in Notre Dame is fucking...
That sounds like a straight up fucking...
That's a mortal sin.
Farce. That sounds like...
You think it was a terrorist?
I don't know what it was. Who the fuck knows? I'm just saying, I'm like, they don't know? I don't know, that just seems weird to me.
I guess identifying the source of a fire is difficult, and it's mostly just estimating the probability that this was the cause or this was the cause.
If you're laying any kind of wire in something that... When was that built?
It was probably built a bunch of times. Most recently.
It was built in the year 1163. That you would be extra careful, or you would take like...
It was probably a team of electricians, French electricians. They were on their smoke break.
This was built,
12th century.
Can we be careful?
Pierre après pierre, jour après jour. Siècle en siècle avec l'amour. That song is about Notre Dame. Il est venu le temps des cathédrales. That's from the play The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Quasimodo, when that fire first happened, I was like, oh fuck, Quasimodo's dead. He died in the fire. I forget how the actual story ends, though. He probably died.
Full Metal says, I love everyone claiming divine intervention for the cross not melting during the fire, but really wood just doesn't burn hot enough to melt.
So what is it, Corgi? You don't believe in anything?
Oh, he believes in Salisbury steak.
Salisbury steak is delicious. Also called cube steak, right? Pube steak?
I believe that we have no idea. Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, I don't like it when people chalk up natural things to the divine.
Was it a metal cross? Is that why you're saying that?
Probably. It was probably forged in the fires of Mount Doom, the only place where it could be unmade.
There were some fun things dropped, unless you have a topic.
I have stuff we could resort to, but I'm here.
I don't like the term resort.
Well, resort can be a positive experience when it's on an island. Last resort.
Full Metal suggested best and worst job stories and is pregnancy empowering or not, and what's the speed of dark? Isn't the speed of dark just as fast as the speed of light, or is it?
Are you talking about dark matter? Dark energy?
How quickly you remove light? But I guess it's just the absence of light. So is there anything really to measure?
Are you talking about the physical qualities of a vacuum, or like the vacuum
it's
of
solid
space?
gold. Yeah, that makes sense. Why that wouldn't melt? Is pregnancy empowering? I think so.
Yeah, she fucking made a person with her body.
Ooh. I had a crazy experience. I brought like my prayer beads in there because I just needed something to fuck with because they're getting all the needles out and all the scissors, and the operating room's like a fucking refrigerator. It's
and you're
so weird. It's so weird. Yeah, it's so gross. It's super sterile. They've got like the big spinal block, and they're like, "Are you ready? It's only gonna feel just like a little pit." You know, you're like, "Just get it all done with."
Like a big long 7-foot needle.
Yeah, it's huge. And it also feels like your soul wets its pants when it kicks. It's like a big...
When the medicine they inject kicks in?
Yeah, it feels like your soul just peed in your body.
Well, I wonder if that's what it's like to do heroin.
Yeah, maybe.
Where you're just like...
I can't say I would ever do that on the reg by any means, but... I was laying there and they're cutting in and you're smelling and all the drill bit sounds and stuff. And I'm like fuddling with the prayer beads really fast. I wish I just brought in like a fucking fidget spinner or something. Like,
or one of the, did you ever see like that dolphin or like the bird that you like balance on a
yeah. I was like telling Lucas, I was like, tell me a story. Goldilocks
and three
like
bears.
just fucking just come on. And suddenly there was this voice in my head, and I hadn't heard it in a long time, and it was like, relax, this is the easy part. And I was like, oh, doesn't feel like the easy part, but I guess you just gotta surrender. Because I kept trying to make jokes with everybody because you're just trying to lighten them. That's how you cope with whatever is happening.
That's my main coping mechanism in life.
I was like, feels like my soul peed feels like my soul peed its pants. The nurse was like, what's wrong? I was like, I was just making a joke. She's like, what'd you say? And I was like, never mind. You know, it's like,
you won't get it.
I tried to tell some other jokes, so they just weren't landing. You're like, okay.
Could you feel me floating above you laughing though? Like, that's really good, Whitney.
Next time. And then I didn't get to pick the music. The fucking OB picked some like old white bitch shit like
What? They played music that you couldn't select?
No.
What is that?
How much am I going to be paying for this fucking surgery and I don't get to put on
what?
System of a Down? You know?
That's so messed up.
It was, the first song was Queen, which was fine, and then it was all just a
Was it
show.
We Are the Champions? Or Bohemian Rhapsody?
I don't remember which one now. I was just bummed I didn't get to
Hopefully
pick.
not Bicycle.
Oh, God.
Bicycle. They're like carving
like,
into
that
you.
Sounds awful.
That's nuts. Unbelievable.
Oh, I was thinking about best and worst job stories. Can you please tell the audience what the lady did at the recent 18-person brunch?
What'd she do?
You ran out of orange juice very quickly.
Oh, shit.
So then you brought in...
So, okay, I teach a brunch class. I encourage you to bring sparkling wine so you can enjoy mimosas. In my opinion, mimosas are like
orange
90-10
yeah.
wine juice. So if there's going to be 18 people, I'll spend $10 on juice. Yeah, I want the good stuff. And instead of spending, $20 or $30 on juice, I also bought some iced coffee because it was in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week. And I was like, maybe they'll want coffee
Maybe
too.
These people don't want to get absolutely fucking hammered.
I was wrong.
You were wrong.
I was wrong. They wanted to get hammered. But so I put out a carafe of juice, easily identifiable, and I put out
Orange.
a carafe of
Iced coffee.
I
would argue that was also
easily
very
identifiable.
easily
And in
identifiable.
my purview. But this lady pours a bunch of coffee into her Prosecco and takes a sip and looks at me like, what is
Like,
this?
looks at you like you're the idiot.
Like I'm the asshole who told her to mix coffee with her wine. And she goes, what is this? I'm like, that's coffee, man.
Why'd you
It's
put it in your
coffee.
fucking Prosecco?
She was like, I thought it was grape juice.
Oh my god. Also,
And
when was the last time you saw grape juice anywhere?
I don't know.
I've actually never seen it because it's always hidden by a cardboard box for a child.
But yeah, she
Grape
she
juice.
goofed.
Get out of here.
She goofed. I mean, it wasn't that bad. Like, because you can mix coffee and alcohol. Irish coffee, espresso martini.
I like espresso and tonic water. I've had that before. That's good. But I'm just like...
But like the wine flavor, not that great with coffee. The bitterness of coffee. Yeah, I was a little floored by her decision that day.
Dude, I live for shit like that.
I was like, skirt, what did you just do,
You
man?
see people do some of the weirdest shit at a restaurant. You're like, what did you just do?
What's weirder to me than the weird things they decide to do is that they're like doing it in secret. They're like, I hope nobody sees that I'm doing this. But then you discover it and you're like, what? Why didn't you ask me? You could have asked what this was before you made
or
a decision.
smelled it or tasted it.
Yeah.
Or...
But we made some really good biscuits that day. Aaron went camping right after we finished up, and he brought a lasagna alla bolognese that he took out of the freezer. Dude.
I was eating that
Or maybe it's chicken
lasagna.
pot pie.
Chicken papaya. He dropped over the things he made. Smart.
When we were putting them together,
Smart.
I was so jealous. I was like, fuck, I wish I was having a
I
baby
wish-
so I could get this food.
I wish I was as smart as him. Like, he just does shit. He made one for him.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you make one for yourself?
Always.
Anyways, he dropped off this lasagna. And you know the backs. You've studied lasagna.
Oh, yeah. I'm a deep study.
I ate it and I was like, oh, there's lamb in this. Lucas is like, no, there's no lamb. And I'm like, there's 100% lamb in this. So I'm like, Aaron, there's lamb in the lasagna, right? And he goes, yeah, there's beef, lamb, veal, and sausage. Did I nail that? Yeah.
Pork.
Lamb,
Probably pork instead of sausage.
pork,
Or sausage
beef,
would be good too.
lamb. And I was like, oh. Oh, he's like, and anchovies. And I was like, I don't understand, but you said that's a very traditional.
It deepens the brown flavor. It makes it much more savory.
What did you call it? It's a lasagna
Alla bolognese.
alla bolognese, which is traditional.
Bologna is where lasagna was invented.
See, I
allegedly.
didn't fucking know. I was like, what?
Well, traditionally it's supposed to be spinach pasta, so it's supposed to be green noodles. And
With
and the
lamb?
meat sauce and the bechamel. I don't think lamb is traditional.
Just meat sauce.
But the meat sauce itself, it's like when we did that rubbish where we did walnuts, lentils, and mushrooms.
Yeah.
Instead of beef, veal, and pork. Because that's what traditionally goes into the sauce.
No idea. I thought it was pepperoni, mozzarella.
Dude, I've had chopped up pepperoni and lasagna
So
before.
fucking
It's
good.
dope. It's so good.
So fucking good.
But it's one of those like Midwestern casserole things where you have all this shit, so let's fucking cook it and make it delicious.
And then he brought over, everything was, what pan would you describe that as? It was like a fucking 17-inch by...
It was those sort of disposable aluminum 9x13
reunion
casserole dishes.
It's huge.
The kind that you just buy at HEB, and
It's 20 pounds.
it's just like such a huge load of food.
And he sous vide turkey.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was going crazy about the sous vide turkey.
The sous vide turkey was next level because I was like, where the fuck did you find raw turkey? Because I often don't see it,
Right.
which is weird.
Yeah. I think
like-
there's a small section where you can usually get necks.
He told me he found breasts and legs where he said in an unusual spot. So he was there was a traditional culinary term that he was using for the insides. It's like a gravy. It's like a type of gravy that goes in the pot pie.
Oh, velouté.
Yes. I learned so much just by him dropping shit off. I was like, I don't understand what you're saying right now. But
yeah, that's Cook School 101. It's like the basic French foundations of cooking. It's so it's one of the French mother sauces, I think.
Mother sauce?
Yeah.
Yo.
Bechamel, sauce espagnole, sauce tomate. I forgot my mother sauces. Sorry. But velouté is it's when you thicken like a blonde stock with a blonde roux, I think. Because like roux is just flour and fat, and you can cook it to different stages of color. So you can use a dark roux if you make gumbo, or like a blonde roux if you make gravy or velouté or bechamel. It's just a thickener. And then velouté, I think, is not beef and it's not pork, but it's like the lighter things like chicken or fish. Their stock mixed with roux makes velouté.
It was gone in 3 days, like everything. Like it just ate because I
I'm
ate
so
it.
hungry thinking about it.
I ate it for lunch and dinner because it was so good.
Yeah.
Full Metal says, side note, I made the rubbish recipe for my vegetarian cousin. I'm guessing he's talking about the lasagna.
Oh, hell yeah.
And now I'm on meal duty forever for her.
Nice.
That was really good.
I loved that. I thought it was really yummy. And I learned something when we were putting together the lasagna for y'all. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to like flash the noodles in boiling water before you lay them in. I didn't think that our noodles were mushy. He said if you didn't do that, they would just turn to mush. They weren't mushy, but they did have kind of like an undercooked vibe. But it was still yummy. Flash them. In a big old pot, boiling water.
It was so nice. I made breakfast the other morning. I was like, oh, cooking. Yes, I haven't cooked. Poor Lucas. He's like, I remember on like one of our down days, he's like, I don't even know you anymore. Because the pregnancy was just so bad. Because I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to cook. He's like, I just watch you play with your food. It's so nice to be back.
Yeah, babe.
I made like it was really good. Hash brown crust.
Ooh.
And then it was like sour cream, eggs, heavy cream, nutmeg, cayenne, bacon, sausage, parsley. There's something else I'm missing. Onions. Slow cooked onions. And then
It's like a breakfast casserole?
Yeah, like breakfast fucking pie. Oh, with Gruyere.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I
And
got
then
some
it was
Comté.
so good to just heat up again.
I wanted to share with you my perfect food day and then see what yours would be.
Go on.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, for breakfast, here's what I want for breakfast on my perfect food day.
Perfect food day.
Pain au chocolat, chocolate croissant, and an espresso.
Ooh, you want sweets in the morning.
With my coffee, I want pain au chocolat. And then I want a bacon, egg, and cheese taco on flour with crystal hot sauce. And I want amigas on corn with salsa doña. That's spicy, creamy green jalapeno salsa. And then I want a juice from Juiceland, the Ninja Bachelor Party, which has spinach, celery, pineapple, and jalapeno.
That's a good one.
And I want just like a bunch of fruit: grapefruit, kiwi, mango, and strawberry. So that's my breakfast.
You want to take a 10-pound shit?
Yes, absolutely. And then for lunch, I want a tuna melt with French fries and a spinach salad.
What's on your tuna melt?
Tuna melt is just tuna salad, which has onion and celery and mayo and a little bit of mustard and cayenne. I put cayenne and white pepper and either garlic powder or onion powder and everything, and it makes it so yummy.
See, here's my experience with tuna melt. Dive bar, tuna from Cisco, mayonnaise. That's it.
So you can make it so much better. You can chop up pickles and put it in there too. Pickles and celery and onions and spices and lemon juice. That's tuna salad.
That sounds good.
That is tuna salad.
I grew up on canned tuna with mayonnaise, and then that's it.
You can't just throw mayonnaise at it. It's just going to taste like tuna and mayonnaise.
And it was just like fishy and gross.
Mm-hmm. I can redeem that for you. And then I want spinach salad with honey mustard vinaigrette, decaf Lady Grey tea, and a lemon bar.
Ooh, lemon bars are the shit.
I want that for lunch. And then for dinner, I want hot crab dip and shrimp cocktail.
Oh my god.
I want a salade verte, which is just a green salad like we had when we had lobster rolls for 4th of July. Just like butter lettuce with a delicious vinaigrette, and it's so crunchy and juicy and gorgeous. And then I want beef stroganoff or pappardelle with bolognese sauce. Something that's pasta, but it's also deeply beefy, creamy, delicious.
I've also never had good beef stroganoff.
I will make that for you. And then I want dark chocolate tart with raspberry coulis for dessert. I want a cheese course with like a soft creamy triple cream brie or chèvre, and I want a roquefort, like some kind of blue cheese with funk, and then I want an aged Gouda that's nice and like sharp, but also has those little crunchy bits.
Sharp.
And then finally, for my late night snack, I want fried chicken wings and drums. Thank you.
That's art.
That is my perfect food day. What's yours? Yeah, babe. Here,
How
how
long did that take you to come up with?
I wrote that probably in 10 or 15 minutes.
Of course you did. You don't ever think.
It
That's
just
why
flows.
I wish our we did one consulting job, and then restaurant consulting is just a fucking shit show.
I love making up menus.
But it's like
so
if
much.
people elicited your help and didn't try to get you to work for them or have you hire all the staff or do all the other things that these poor restaurant people need help with. It's like the menu you came up with for Moho was fucking. The meeting we had was like 20 minutes. You were like, man, it
was like so.
And then Aaron and I were like, yeah, all that sounds really good. Green light.
And then Aaron just started developing recipes.
And then Aaron just goes and just, it's
That's
like
why
the ideal scenario.
Our trifecta has always been so effective. Because I'm like, here's what we could do. And he's like, all right, let's do that. And then he shows us the best way to do it. Like, I've got the ideas, but he's got the boots on the ground.
It's because he's a scientist.
Right.
It's literally the fucking perfect.
Yeah.
High priestess, scientist, and then I don't know what alchemical.
No, you help us like clarify and refine and elevate, I would say. And then on the opposite page, I wrote down a perfect day.
I am very excited for your shrimp cocktail.
I am making shrimp cocktail. They had.
I haven't had it since last year.
It's so yummy.
Or shrimp cocktail in general.
That is the perfect day. I don't know if it's possible to do all those activities in one day, but I'd like to try. Someone said I'd need $5 million.
Jungle gym obstacle course disguised as a rainforest with animatronic jungle animals.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
That would be my exercise for the morning. Just like... I imagined it was sort of like the Legend of the Hidden Temple, like that game show, but like more realistic.
Ooh, eating lunch on a train sounds nice.
Yeah. Beautiful views, beautiful vistas, beautiful views with your beautiful shoes.
Drive go-karts. And shoot each other.
I want to shoot you with a Nerf gun. As we're
right
driving
in your C-section scar.
No.
Sleep in a castle.
Yes.
The library. I lived within walking distance from the library that Beauty and Beast was based off of. It's in the Peabody Institute, and you could just walk in there. Like you just walk in and it's like 1,000 years old, and it's ladders and all those
fucking cobwebs.
Yes.
Wow.
Super
and there's
cool.
like an occult section that you shouldn't go into, but you do anyway.
I wonder if Hannah's on. Hannah,
remember that library?
She went to that college, I believe. Recycling Hope.
Oh yeah, I was googling to see if there's any hope for our recycling endeavors, because they say that, you know, all the stuff we try to recycle never actually gets recycled. It's just more trash that we add to the ocean. So I know that your opinion of recycling is particularly dismal because of the state of affairs and all the documentaries you've watched. So I wanted to see if I could shed some light on the future of recycling.
What do they do with all the recycling that they clean out of the ocean? Because there's now
I don't know.
programs that are cleaning up the ocean, but I'm like, okay, now what? You're going to bury it in the ground? Where do you put it?
Well, so that's the problem. Like, whenever we talk about plastic accumulation on the earth, you want to say, like, okay, well, that's equivalent to these clay pots that are left over from 2,000 years ago. Like, everything just hangs out. Who cares? But plastic, since it's
Goes to the other ocean.
it's just like it leaches toxic substances and it disrupts natural biological processes the way that clay pots just don't. And even if they don't leach harmful toxic substances, they break down into microplastics that get embedded into
That are
creatures.
making our taint smaller. Did you guys know that?
My taint?
Taints are getting smaller due to the accumulation of microplastics found in...
Male taints or female taints?
I think it was male taints.
because female taints are already really small.
Yes, no, it was microplastics in their hand in fertility, like low fertility.
Microplastics
And
affect-
apparently small taints are part... I was like, well, wait, how did you get to that notion that...
Who's
the
measuring taints?
I don't know. Get out your teeny little taint measure. Measure a taint.
Oh my god.
6-inch taint.
Dude, that's scary about the taints.
What if we lose our taint?
I need my taint. I need to separate those two spots.
That is the title of the fucking podcast. I
What if
need
we
my
lose our
taint.
taint? So there is some hope. And the hope comes in the form of this tiny bacteria named Comamonas
Name taint elongator.
testosterone. I don't know why it's called that, but that's literally its name.
That sounds good on a pizza.
So there's all these efforts to like bioengineer a bacteria who cultivates a hunger for plastic and like can break that stuff down. But there's this natural Comamonas testosterone who has this natural hunger for plastics because they crave more complex carbon as their food. Like that's what they want. So they're already really capable of breaking down lignin, which is this certain fiber that's used in a lot of manufacturing, but also plastics in general. So it's like this tiny little bit is going to eat up all of our plastic. And so the idea is not to get really good at recycling. It's about like changing the way that we do things in our economy and making it into a circle. Like deliberately trying to mirror the way that Mother Nature does things by thinking of the end when we can think of the beginning. Like, how can we reincorporate every piece of this instead of accumulating a ton of garbage that just sits around and impacts everyone's reproduction, natural
Taint size.
processes and things like that. So my research, let's see, every day the equivalent of 2,000 garbage trucks full of plastic waste are dumped into the world's rivers, lakes, and oceans.
That is so crazy. Why?
There's no room for it on land anymore? Or the ocean is so big you get to watch it drift away and not think about it again? Plastic pollution alters habitats and natural processes, takes thousands of years to degrade, leaches toxic substances, and we already touched on this. Microplastics interfere with biological processes affecting soil quality, microbes in the soil. It's like we didn't really anticipate how interconnected everything is when we started to inject plastic into everything.
It takes us ruining something to be like, oh.
But yeah, that's like the pendulum swing that we always talk about. Like, we really fucked this up really hard, so now let's swing the other direction.
I was under the impression that hemp plastic was better than resins.
Yeah, you could do hemp plastic, you could do corn plastic.
There was a car that, this is me just pulling stuff from my brain. There was a car that ran on hemp oil like 100 years ago. Like it wasn't very long after. And it all just got squished. And then hemp we could make paper from it. It grows really fast. We don't have to.
Yeah, the whole reason why our planet is choked with plastic pollution is because of big oil.
Yeah.
Because all of those are petroleum products.
I was thinking like, the boomer talk is so viral now, but I was like, it makes sense. The first tier of, I need you to be my pronouncer, burgeoning?
Yeah.
This movement?
Yeah.
The first burgeoning class of people, boomers, post-World War II, life is different, food is plentiful, peace is happening, people are coming back from the war with
medical discoveries,
bonds,
vaccines.
Medical discoveries. It makes sense that they would take everything and how everything was cheap, houses. It's the miracle
of modern society.
Right? And then the second wave, our parents, Gen Xers?
Gen X, I think.
Gen X. They get into, they get to, cars are 10 grand, brand new, houses are 50K. And then the third one just gets fucked because of the last two.
Yeah.
And on top of those generations, you have tiers of people in charge. So the first tier, like I remember, I've watched many documentaries about pharmaceutical companies and how at the beginning, the experts, the lab coats, the fabricated results, the profiteering. I mean, people were making money hand over fist like they had never fucking made before. Okay, I thought this froze. I felt something weird. That was strange. Anyways.
My mom texted me.
Did somebody die? That they rightfully so are like, oh, America is an unplucked land of consumers at this point. And then it just degrades over time. And now we're left with a fucking shit show. And now our economy has flipped and everything's based off of debt. And the amount of debt you can accumulate and nothing's yours anymore. And now everything's a subscription. So now you don't own anything. And now you're leasing cars. You're not owning that. It's just like, this makes sense. This is the natural evolution of bounty.
Yeah.
We plucked it all.
And there's also the reckoning of all the people that we stole from.
Yeah.
Like that coming to light, and like the decolonization is a big part of it.
I was thinking though, as the editor of the pod, I'll like rethink about shit that you've said, and you were talking about the sacrifice. So the homogenization is a sacrifice for our physical health.
Yeah.
Because since we're all like complacent and happy and we've been scrubbed of any sort
Move out to the suburbs where it's safe to raise a family, but you lose
everything.
Every piece
but
of
you're
culture and excitement and growth and creativity.
And initiation
that's
rites
like
that don't involve
in
meth
the city.
or inhalants or alcohol.
It's crazy. And to go back to what you were saying about the different generations of people basically exploiting the earth and figuring out it's really easy to exploit the earth in this way and it's really easy to exploit the earth in this way.
Then 80 years later we're going,
we shouldn't have fucking exploited the earth so hard. Oh, not my problem. Dies.
Bye.
But I always think about like the Green Revolution and how when they came up with these strains of Roundup Ready corn, they weren't thinking about poisoning the future.
No.
They weren't.
They were thinking about wasn't a lot of industrial farming out of the Great Depression? They're like,
they were trying to
people are
cure
starving.
starvation.
Yeah.
People were starving around the world. So these scientists did what they could to sort of struggle against nature and like make a corn that could survive blights, that could survive bad weather, that could survive.
Same thing with our wheat. Like, we lost all flavorful wheat.
But we have a sturdy, productive, reliable strain
nuclear
of wheat.
bomb resistant.
Yeah. And that was the result of tackling hunger. And so that's the pendulum swinging back in the other direction. Like, now nobody wants to eat GMOs.
It's so crazy.
Everybody wants fucking organic, non-GMO. And GMOs saved our planet from starvation.
Well, GMOs too, there's some good things, a lot of good things that came out of it. But it's also still strange though to me that we want all foods all year round. I'd rather have flavorful strawberries than have access to strawberries year round.
Dude, flavorful strawberries are next level. They're
Like,
so special.
Anybody who tells me they don't like tomatoes, I'm like, it's because you've never had a real one. Because real ones are hard to fucking find.
And they're so red.
And they're so good.
good.
They have flavor and texture. And instead you go to the grocery store, even at H-E-B, and I'm just like, these are not what they should be.
Yeah. I mean, the global economy is something that we both enjoy and also loathe, because you get mangoes from Belize, but they've been irradiated so that they can travel and not,
perish.
pick up little buggies or whatever. Like, here's the fruit and it's right here in your face, but it's been deprived of all nutrients. You can eat mango.
Well,
it tastes like mango.
Isn't that the same thing with milk? Like, there's this raw milk revolution. But I'm like, okay, isn't like, cows have so many diseases, but that might be because they're in farms with 600 other cows. So they're, I don't want raw milk because there's like
the
disgusting...
cow stuff is scary because we went through that mad cow thing.
Yeah, I'm like, well, and now we have a flavorless, fat dispersed liquid,
and it's illegal to sell to for human consumption raw unpasteurized milk.
But that's another thing that I have not looked into. I'm not exactly sure how bad raw milk can be.
I mean, our bodies are so complex and full of microbiomes of little dudes who are working to protect us. So I feel like if you were healthy and you had some raw milk and there was a little weirdo in there that tried to subvert your inner government, that they would take it down. But I don't know. That gets into weird territory because I believe in vaccines. Some people believe that your body is capable of smashing whatever is not supposed to be there, but I don't know. It's all so convoluted.
It's safe if done right. That's how I feel too. It's like, if this is a reputable place with a reputable cow that's taking the necessary things, and sure, I'll drink it. But it's like, I was like, man, I thought when a cow is sick, that's the first place it goes, is right into the fucking milk.
Yeah.
But I might be wrong.
Well, I mean, it's also weird that we're the only species on Earth that drinks the milk of another animal.
But have you ever had cheese?
Dude.
But here's another thing.
I know.
When people say that, and I was like, yeah, but if cats had fucking thumbs, game over.
For real.
Like, imagine a dog.
We would all be hooked up.
A dog or a cat
producing milk for
figuring
cats.
out how to get milk, it'd be game over. They would drink it just as much as we do.
I feel like there were
"This shit's so
PSAs
good."
in the 90s, or maybe it's just a memory of The Simpsons. Like when
it does seep into everything.
Ralph says, I'm going to go to Bovine University, because they watched this pro meat kind of slaughterhouse video, and because Lisa was talking about being a vegetarian, and what was the point I was gonna make by bringing that up? Oh, at the end, Troy McClure is like, and Billy, you better believe it, if you don't eat that cow is gonna eat you. It's like kill or be killed. I don't know, sometimes it's like that. It'd be like that in nature though. But, like, we don't really live in nature no more.
Yeah, I got, like, a thing that's like, Lydia will be 40 and this year. I was like, what's the world going to be like 40 years from now?
What a fantastic question.
Will we have solved anything? Probably.
I immediately thought of Kevin Costner in Waterworld.
Will it be Waterworld?
Maybe.
I do think that there is a scientific breakthrough on the horizon that will turn everything upside down and
Or many.
launch us a lot further forward. That would be sick.
Well, is yours based in like consciousness discovery?
Quantum computing.
Right, which is kind of how our consciousness seem to interact with
Something.
material. I think there are so many breakthroughs that scientists are working really hard on day and night. Like the microbes that eat plastic. That's huge. That would change the game. But also biofuels, like fucking growing algae, because they're the original living thing. They're so easy to grow. Let's fucking make fuel that way instead of being constantly at war and harvesting oil from the ground and making plastic. There are so many different ways that we can move forward.
We'll end on this note. It's Austin. There's a lot of tech companies here, which means that there's a lot of self-driving car people on the roads all over. I see a self-driving car almost every day, and I'm like, fuck you. There's our public transportation is fucking dog shit. It's horrible and it sucks ass. Our cars are $80,000 for a brand new GMC 6 point whatever liter. You need to take out a 7-year loan now to pay off a car, which is fucking insane.
No, I don't want to do it.
Speaking of which, and it's like, you're going to focus on self? That's where we're at? I want a bullet train. I want a bullet train that goes from Minneapolis to Houston.
Yeah.
Get out of your stupid self. Oh, I just want to sit in this thing that still sucks on an infrastructure we spent 150 years wasting money on so it can run over motorcyclists. Ooh, we lost our main cam. That's how I feel. And then here is some high tech just getting paid to sit in this car that's crashing into literally everything.
Yes.
And it sucks, and that's what you get.
There's also, I mean, to add insult to injury, I've seen a lot of those little robots that are just like
Yeah. There's a lot
delivery
of
bots, but they're like escorted by a human person wearing a high visibility vest.
It's stupid.
And I'm like, so you have to walk the bot as it delivers the Chick-fil-A to the person?
I want to go beat up that fucking robot so bad. And you'd open it and there'd be like string cheese in it. Like, there's nothing important in there. String cheese and a 6-pack of Miller Lite.
Lydia is awake. Hey, babe.
Anyways, drop a comment on how you feel about self-driving smart cars.
Self-driving cars and robots. Cheers. Be well.
Look into the hitchhiker bot that got murdered.
No.
It got fisted for 18 hours.
Dude, I'm a Matrix head. I want to live with the bots. I think we can live peacefully with the bots. I don't think we should abuse them.
Yeah, but you're talking about humans, babe. They're nasty. I know. I wish they weren't nasty.
I wish they tweeted people how they wanted to be tweeted. That's the golden rule. That's all you need to know.
All right. We've lost every camera. Bye, guys. See you next week. He said it made it all around Canada and then it got murdered in the U.S. after 4 hours.
Why are we so violent?
Oh, say, can you see
Something I want to kill.